Make sure that you understand why you're writing this book, because when you do, and you do it in the right way, this is the modern day business card. If you're able to hand this to somebody, you are instantly perceived as authority on the subject. So I wanted to shoot this video and tell you a little bit about the process that I took to write my own book. And one thing that I need to tell you is that with a book, you have this level of authority. When you publish a book, people respect you a little bit more, which I'm noticing. My grandma actually said, "You wrote a book, you're so smart." And I thought, that's all I had to do is write a book to be considered smart. I should have done this years ago. So really figure out what you want to talk about is a real high priority that you should think about before you dive into it, because it is so much work, and most authors are going to tell you that it's just a lot of work. So as far as I can remember, I always really wanted to be an author, and so I had that vision. And what I would do is I would dictate in my phone subjects or interesting topics or interesting thoughts. So I was just talking to my phone is a really great way to get stuff in. But once I really sat down and I was able to process my thoughts, really think about my thoughts, really dwell on my thoughts, it came to life. It was an interesting process because a lot of memories flowed, a lot of things that I forgot about. I had to go into detail, and I think it really opened my eyes on the aspects that what it took me to get to where I am today. So as I was going through this process and I was writing my thoughts and writing interesting subjects and things that I thought that people would like, I came across this author that had a pretty good success. He said he made about $100,000, which is good for being an author. So I listened to his advice, and he said that you have to write 90,000 words. So in my mind, I was writing until I got 90,000 words. I mean, it took a long time. And then I would say by the grace of God, I met this great editor. And I tried editors before from Fiverr and Upwork, and they weren't that good. So I approached him. I gave him my manuscript, 90,000 words. He took a look at this, this big old booklet of thoughts. And he said, "You got a lot of great information in there, but you got enough for 3 books, and you have to figure out exactly what is the problem and what is the solution. What is the problem that you're trying to solve, and what is the solution for solving that problem? And then once you answer those 2 questions, then you can dive down into how you break down the steps of getting that done." For me, I had this tale of 2 grandfathers, and it was kind of a novel, and so I had to strip everything down and really figure out what is the problem. The problem is that a lot of businesses fail. That's the problem. And the solution is to use the Aloha money machine formula to grow your business. And then if you see in the book, the chapters in the book, I have the problem, and then I have the 9 steps to creating your own Aloha money machine. I don't know if you can see that, but so what's the problem? What's the solution? And then you have to dive into exactly the steps to solving that problem. And then at the end, you wrap it all in with a conclusion. So that, it's really helpful. I would say even more important than actually writing is actually talking to an editor that has experience in whatever you're trying to do. Are you trying to write a novel? Are you trying to write a business book? Are you trying to just do like a biography? What are you trying to do? And then seek advice from those people, and then figure out what works and what makes the most sense. Now, as far as publishing, a lot of people have questions about who to use for publishing. You could self-publish, you can indie publish, independent publish, you can do the big box publishers. So my thought with publishing my book was that I would publish it with an independent publisher, meaning that they would help me, but I would own the rights to my manuscript. And then I thought that that would be the best course of action. If you read my book, I like to own things. So that made the most sense for me. I also heard that the big publishers, they're going to take a huge portion of the profits, a lot of it, most of it. And once the book goes out, and if you're not anybody that anybody knows, you're going to be the person that's going to have to market it and sell it. So I figured that if I'm going to have to do the work anyways, I might as well own the information, and that's the decision that I decided to go with. And I don't really know exactly about the big publishers. Like I said, I didn't go with them, so I don't know. Hopefully I'll find out one day when this blows up. Now the next aspect is the name. Everyone is so concerned about names, and I was one of them. I was really concerned about what name to use, because a name can really sell the book. And I would say the best advice that I can give you, I think a good rule of thumb is to ask the people who you associate with. If you have a few ideas with the name, put it out there. I'm working on a book. I'm trying to decide a name. This is the names that I have. Which one do you like the best? I would definitely try to really use your community. Another aspect to finding useful information and information that people would be interested when you're writing the book is look at the reviews of books that you really like. Go into the books on Amazon that you really like. Look at the reviews. A lot of times people are truthful on the reviews, and you can figure out what's missing from that book and maybe enter that stuff, enter that contact and that information into your own book. Another huge aspect is your following. I was told that you have to have a huge following if you want to sell books. You're not really considered a high-powered author authority if you don't have a big following. So that's really important. And what you can do is, in this process, everybody wants to know the journey. Everyone wants to see how you did it. It's one of the reasons why I'm shooting this video, is because I think it's important to share the journey that I went on, because a lot of people want to know that journey. Maybe they want the information in the book and they have a business, but maybe they want to write a book themselves and just figure out how you did it. Either way, I think it's useful information, but you have to build a following. And how you do that is you tell your story throughout the process. You can sit in front of the computer with a camera, take a picture of you typing on the computer, and then post it. Say, I'm working on my new book. Get some people to engage, or whatever subject that you're talking about, post pictures of that. My new book is going to include this. So give people that journey from mess to success. Finding followers is huge. It's huge. It's going to be a huge part of your success if you really want to sell this book, which I hope you do. Another aspect of publishing the book is you have to figure out ways that you're going to sell the book. And a big reason why I went with my editor is because his strategy was to do small-scale seminars, talk on the subject of your book. I'm a firm believer that if I get in front of enough people, that I could sell some books. And so that's the strategy that I have chosen to adopt. You have to understand your income streams. Now, the book has several income streams. The book sales obviously is one source of income stream. Another one is coaching. So if people are interested in the information that you're talking about, because now you wrote a book, you're authority, then they can use your services for a fee for coaching. So that's another one. A lot of people make money, a good amount of money on coaching, and that seems to be a popular trend. I don't think it's going to stop. Another aspect is speaking. You can speak at organizations, you can speak at trade shows. That is actually a really good source of income. People make on average $5,000 per speaking event. Another one, like I mentioned, was small-scale seminars, really giving people that experience. Let them interact and let them experience what you have to offer. So those are a few revenue streams on how to sell the book, because everybody knows an author that wrote a book and they didn't sell anything. No one bought it, or they sold a few copies. But my goal when I wrote this book, because I always think about the end, is that I want to become a best-selling author and I want to sell some books. So I need to learn how to do that, how to get into my target audience, my target rich audience, like my coach, my business coach, Mark LeBlanc says, is that you have to find that target rich audience. and small scale seminars is a way to do it. Hopefully that was some useful information, and if you got any questions or concerns or any thoughts about the process, please reach out to me. I am excited about taking this book to the next level. This is the first step in my journey, so hopefully I'll have a continuous video for this, maybe a step 2 type of video on the next aspect. And I think that online marketing is a really big aspect that a lot of people are selling books on, so I'm interested to learn that and do it through funnels and email marketing. I'm really interested to see how these small scale seminars pan out. And the beauty with the small scale seminars is that you can do it across the country, across the world, and sell some books. On the last note, I just want to thank everybody for your support and your help when I ask for help through this process, and when I look for recommendations. And it really is a team sport. To write a book is a team sport. So in recap, what you need to do is you need to get a good editor. You got to find an editor that has experience with that. Now, you don't have to use them, but you have to hear what they say, and maybe we'll steer you in a direction that you want to go. Number 2 is that you have to build your following. You have to get people who are interested in your subject, and you have to surround yourself with those people. The road to becoming a successful author is so much easier if you got that following. And number 3 is that you have to understand your income streams. You have to figure out how you're going to sell the book. Because if you're a new author, no one's going to sell it better than you. And you just have to remember that. Even if you go with the big box publishing house, they're not going to sell it like you. You are the author. You're the person who wrote this. You're the person that is spending all this time and energy, and you have to figure out ways to sell your own book if you really want to be successful. So I wish you the best of luck. And again, let me know any comments, concerns that you have, and I hope to see your copy of your book soon. Hi, Makai. Did you know your dad wrote a book?
Yes.
And what do you think about that?
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Oh, this is all green.
Yep. Hopefully making some green.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Never know.
Yeah.
All right. Check you later.
Check you later.